Cheers. Welcome back to the fourth installment of how to break your legs off in 90 seconds. This is the Red Bull Bay Climbs. It's about 90 seconds of just as hard as you possibly can. So first we're gonna chug about 16 Red Bulls, and then I'm gonna have 4 caffeine gels, and I'm gonna slap myself in the face 8 times and go as hard as I can up the hill. Up. Yeah! All right, welcome back to another year of the Red Bull Bay Climb. Absolutely love this event. Who is the fastest at going up Potrero Hill in San Francisco? It is only about 450 meters in length, but it averages close to 15%, and you don't just do it once, right? That would be too easy. You have to do this several times because it's not just a single mass start race. We go off in heats. You have to qualify to the finals in order to win this event, and that was my goal for today because fitness level, guys, all-time low. So in order to make the finals, I first have to win my qualifier, and that's where we're at now, the start line for the qualifier. And they're counting us down, so let's jump into race commentary. All right, off we go, heat number 1. This is the qualifier. What's the strategy here in a race like this? Well, there really isn't much of a strategy. It's pretty much just go all out and make sure that you qualify to the next round. In this case, the top 2 qualify to the next round. So as long as you're the top 2, there's really no need to, like, go nuts, right? I guess there's a little bit of strategy. And the other thing you'll notice is I'm on the front right now. That's because drafting doesn't matter when you're going up a 20% grade. So I just want to make sure I'm not getting boxed in. I want to make sure I'm going to guarantee myself a spot in the top 2 that qualifies onto the semifinals. And I'm doing a decent amount of power here. I'm still about 150 watts off of my personal best up this climb. Even more once we get to the top. We'll see in a second. But this is an interesting thought. I mean, this is the first round. I had no idea how it was going to be because I hadn't been training. Fitness was at an all-time low, like I said earlier. How does that affect something that is only like a 70 or an 80-second effort? I'm not sure. I don't think that it's going to affect me too much on the first couple of runs. I suspect later on in the semifinals and the finals, hopefully, fingers crossed I make it to the finals, that's when I think it will really start affecting me. But for now, I'm feeling okay. Heart rate's pretty high. This is easily 10 beats per minute higher than it has been in previous years. And that is also a symptom of being out of shape. But for here, you can tell I'm weaving around the road, I'm looking around, and I'm doing about 400 watts. That's about as low as you can go. I'm out of gears. I'm doing, 65 RPMs. I just want to get across the finish line, make sure I'm in one of the top spots. And I'll be honest with you guys, this was a huge confidence boost for me because I had no idea where I stood before this qualifier round. It hurts even when you're not going full clip. But we're good. So far, so good. I'm curious to see how the lack of fitness is going to affect me in rounds 2 and hopefully 3.
Dude, good job. Killer.
Attaboy, Jack.
Attaboy.
And bam, just like that, we're off on the semifinal qualifier. And look at the whole shot that RJ gets from the gun. He's already out of sight. Dude is a 6-time national champion mountain biker. That'll be the last we see of him. So my clip-in was the opposite. I had an awful clip-in. Now I'm doing some work to make up for it, up close to 1,000 watts. Not panicking, though. That's how you can dig yourself a hole in these events, is if you just do way too much too soon out of panic. I'm chilling. I need to be top 2 in order to advance to the finals. That is my goal, you guys, for this day, is to make the finals, and right now I'm losing. So I'm making a pass here on the steepest section. This middle section is the steepest, so I'm going to make a couple of passes, keeping it pretty consistent at around 800, 850 watts. And I was feeling really confident until that one rider in front of me sprints on that flat section, opens up a few more bike lengths. And I was like, well, if he's got it, he's got it. If he doesn't, I'm going to find out, because at this point, I know I can still do over 700 watts to the finish. And like I said earlier, if you go too hard too soon, you can really blow up on the final pitch of this climb. And as I look at him, that's what he's doing. He's looking back at me. I can just tell he's got the body language. So I'm going to put my head down and do one last push to try to just take all the wind out of his sails right here. You can hear him grunt as I make the pass. And at this point, by the skin of my teeth, I make it. I qualify for the finals, you guys. Super stoked, but did I have to go deep in order to make it or what? It was hard to even stand up for the next 15 or 20 minutes after that effort. And let's not forget, RJ was like 10 seconds in front of us or something crazy. So I have to face him again in the finals. That's going to be rough. Let's fast forward a bit and see how it goes.
What's your name?
George. George. Still out of breath.
Dude, super effort. I just barely got him at the line, but honestly, that took everything. I think I'm pretty screwed for the final.
I mean, if you hadn't passed me, I would have been in the same boat. Also completely screwed.
We had a good battle there at the end.
Dude, that was awesome.
Let's go. We did the final. Let's go.
All right, cue the Rocky soundtrack. We are off on the finals, and oh my God, another terrible clip-in and another sensational clip-in by the mountain bike duo. Those dudes know how to race, I'll tell you what. And I'm like, oh my God, doing 950 watts. I went so hard on this first bump. I was setting PR pace. Like this was my 2019 PR pace that I was setting on that first climb, and I wasn't even making a dent in the lead that they'd opened up after their amazing clip-in. So on the second climb, I was like, okay, I need to reel it back because my heart rate's already approaching 170 beats per minute. And it was at about this point, I was like, you know what? It turns out not training for several months coming into this. Probably not the best idea, but stoked to make the final. But yeah, at this point, I just wanted to sit down, enjoy, get some high fives, and look at the vibes here, guys. I mean, can Red Bull put on an event or what? It's so much fun every single year. Even in late October when everyone's done racing, it's still just an amazing scene. I'm super happy to be a part of it.
How we doing, gents?
How we doing? Still
Nice
out of
little
breath.
day of base training.
Still a bit out of breath. You know, as I predicted, not training caught up with me in the final round there. Felt okay for the first two, but the winners were on a completely different level, and I think I did close to 1,000 on the first ramp, and they were pulling away from me, so I shut it down and rolled in, threw some high fives on the way up. Vibes were good.
Vibes were good. How'd you do today, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, having not raced in a couple months definitely hurts. Haven't hit those numbers in a while, but I said I did my best 1 minute of the year, so
Heck yeah.
like 750 something, which for me, I'm not an anaerobic guy. That's pretty good for me.
But also, you're not a heavy guy. That shows the talent that's here.
Yeah.
If you're a 160 pounder doing 750 for a minute and you're not making the final, it's a high level of competition out here. From Jack Attack on the top of Potrero Hill, as always, catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.
Parental advisory, explicit content.
Full gas for about 90 seconds. Anything else you want to say? No, that's all I think. Where does the first one, like up here? Dude, I don't know what is going on. Okay, you hear the gimbal like dying a million deaths.
This is not happy right now. What are we doing today?
What's up, YouTube?